Well, hello, my amazing artists. Welcome back to Art with me, Mrs. Knowles. We are going to be creating a robot today. And our robot is inspired by the artist Leonardo da Vinci. Have you heard of him before? He's the artist who painted the Mona Lisa, which you might be familiar with. But he's also known for creating a lot of different inventions. So we are going to use that idea of his inventions to create our robot today. Here is my robot. Isn't that cool? You need to start thinking right now about what job you want your robot to have. My robot is a cleaning robot because I don't like to clean. So I imagine that I would love to have a robot that could clean for me. That would be pretty nice, right? So think about something that your robot would do. Maybe your robot would walk the dog for you. Or maybe your robot is a cooking robot and so it would cook all your meals for you. I don't know, you're gonna have to think about it. Okay, well, let's get started on our robots. All right, so we are gonna start off by making the body of our robot. So you can see I have a box, it's just a cereal box. And so you need to find yourself some sort of box that is a thin cardboard, like the kind that you get cereal in or oatmeal or any kind of food basically. And you're also gonna need a piece of tin foil or aluminum foil. So here's my foil, here is my box. I'm gonna use a Sharpie to draw on just so that you can kind of see what I'm doing, but you can use anything. You could use a pencil, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's get started. I am going to draw the different shapes that make up my robot. So you're gonna have to decide what your robot is looking like, and we're gonna draw that on here. So I'm gonna start with the head. I think I'm going to just do a circle for my head. And you notice I made it nice and big. You don't wanna make it too tiny or it's gonna be really difficult. I think I'm just gonna do a rectangle body. Now, since I'm gonna have mine be a cleaning robot, so instead of an arm, I'm gonna do a vacuum cleaner arm. Now, do you notice I'm drawing them close, but I'm not actually attaching them because I'm gonna be cutting these out? What could my other arm be? I think I'm going to do just a regular rectangle for my robot's other arm. I think for this arm, I might have him do some kind of cleaner stuff. So I'm gonna put, it's like a bottle of cleaner in his hand. Okay, and then for the legs, let's see. I think about different kinds of legs you could do. Like, what is your robot's job will kind of depend on the legs, right? So I think I'm actually going to make it like half a circle and then like a wheel on the bottom. And then I'll just attach those when I start. Okay, so now I'm going to cut all of these pieces out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to wrap these like a little present. So here I have my rectangle body, so I'm just going to cut around. And you can see that the rectangle that I cut is bigger than my body, right? Than the cardboard rectangle. So now before I do anything else, I'm gonna get my glue, open it up. I'm gonna put some glue on my cardboard, and then I'm gonna put my cardboard down, just like that. All right, now I'm gonna fold my foil around it. If your shape is something like a circle, you might have to kind of press the foil as you do it, right? Okay, nice. Now I don't even have to glue that because it's just fitting right around that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna keep going and keep doing that. Okay, so you might have noticed that my shapes that were a little bit more complicated, like this one and this one, it took me a little bit more time to make sure that they were covered, and I had to sort of, at times I had to kind of rip it carefully and then bend it over, but I managed to get all of it covered, so that's good. If you have a problem and it tore and you're like, oh no, now I have a spot, just take another small piece of aluminum foil and cover the spot up and wrap it around like a little band-aid sort of. Okay, so now I have all my pieces ready. So I'm gonna put these off to the side and I'm gonna get my piece of paper. This is gonna be my background paper. And I am using black because I like the way the black and the silver of the aluminum foil really makes it pop. But you can use a different color if you don't have black for your background. So I'm gonna get out my oil pastels right now. Again, if you don't have oil pastels at home, crayons would work great for this too. I just like the way the oil pastels are very bright on the black. Okay, so I'm gonna try and put a little bit going around me that reminds me of what my robot does, which my robot is a cleaning robot, if you remember. So I think that I'm gonna draw like some water droplets, because you usually need water to clean, right? Water, what else could I do? Add a little bit like that. I bet if I added some blue, that would look interesting too. What do you think? Maybe some blue on the inside. Ooh, that's cool. Oil pastels are also great for mixing colors. So like if I put my blue on and then I added some white on top of it, it would make a lighter blue, right? Okay, cool, I like that. What else reminds you of cleaning? Let me think. I think, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some little sponges, because sometimes when you're cleaning, you have to use a sponge. Now, did you notice I'm kind of making it into a design? So even though it's for cleaning, I'm doing it in an artistic way, right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going and keep working on my background. Okay, so I finished with my background. So my next step is to glue the body of my robot onto here. So first I want to make sure that I am putting things where I want them to be. Of course, I think this was the head. This was my arm. How do I want it to go? I think I'll have like that. And then that arm, and then this was the wheel. Okay, so now that I know how it's gonna be laid out, I'm gonna glue it on. So you wanna be very careful right now because your glue is not dry yet, so be very gentle with it. And we're gonna add some details with our Sharpies. So get your black Sharpie. If you are at home and you don't have a black Sharpie, you could try using a different kind of marker. You could just test out some different kinds of markers or pens to see if you can use them. but it's ideally if you have a Sharpie, that's the best kind. All right, so I'm gonna make my designs. Think about, remember what your robot's job is, right? Like I know that this is my vacuum arm, so I'm gonna kind of draw some little lines like you have on a vacuum hose, like that. I'm gonna make a little face. Maybe your robot has some kind of some gears on him. I'm gonna draw like some little levels of things. Maybe there's some buttons or knobs. Okay, so decorate all over your robot. All right, so my robot is complete. Of course, you can always go back and add more details, right? Or do different things once you have your robot on there. But I think he looks pretty neat. I would hire this robot to come clean my house. Okay. Well, I hope you guys had fun making your robots inspired by the artist Leonardo da Vinci. And I can't wait to see them. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.